Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video I am testing out the newest addition to the Forza GT class, which is the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo. I think I got that name right, I probably didn't, but oh well, it's a Lamborghini Huracan anyway. And this car is an interesting one. First thing first, I was happy to see that it's not a premium car. You can buy it just with the in-game currency, you don't have to pay real money for it, which I was really happy to see. Because most of the latest cars that have been added to the Forza GT class have been stuck behind that paywall, which is, I know you can pay kind of a couple of pounds or dollars for each car, which is not the end of the world, but I'm much happier to see cars that are, accessible to everyone who, a lot of people potentially don't want to spend money on this game or just can't. So, yeah, I was really happy to see that, so that's always a good thing. But getting onto the actual car, what do I think of it? Well, it's a bit of a one-trick pony. It's a really, really quick car in a straight line. That is its biggest strength, is its straight line speed, and it is very strong. I mean, similar to the other Lamborghini and the Ferrari in the Forza GT class, both of which you don't really see that often, but they are all straight line speed cars, and that's kind of their strength, and they perhaps lose out in the corners somewhat because of it. And this car, it is quick in the straights. It's definitely one of the quicker cars. However, it also can hold its own through the corners. So actually, it's not a terrible car all round. I think it's definitely not overpowered, I don't think. And I think that's evident by the fact that not everyone is using it, because generally, when a new car gets added to this class, if it's overpowered, the lobbies will be mainly made up of that new car. But in the case of the Lamborghini, only a few people are using it in every race I've come across, so that kind of suggests that actually it's probably not that overpowered, which is definitely a good thing. But it is definitely usable. As you'll see in this race, I actually have a really good result. So getting into this race now, I might as well talk about it. You see the two Corvettes here. Silver one has just basically blocked that yellow one off the track, and there I just I shoved him off the track because I wasn't particularly happy about that. Me and the yellow Corvette were having quite a good race up until then, and the silver one kind of ruined it. So I shoved the silver one off the track, but unfortunately I think I shoved him into the yellow one and slowed him down quite a lot as well. So not the greatest there, but I wasn't happy about that silver Corvette coming and basically ruining our race. So nonetheless, we are up to 5th place already. A lot of the race has gone past already. We're already on lap 5, so I better actually talk about it. So yeah, up to 5th place, pretty good start, or kind of first half of the race really. And we've now caught up to 4th and 3rd place. Now 3rd place in the Lamborghini there, just going slightly wide and gets onto the gravel. So me and the AMG able to get past him. And now it's lap 5, which is the lap I'm going to be pitting, as is the AMG. So both of us looking to jump into the pits here. I'm just going to try and stick as close to him as possible as we go into the pits here. Try to lose as little time as possible. And as always, I don't know if it's my connection or what, but I always lose a tiny bit of time going into the pits. So you see there, losing kind of maybe half a second on him through the pits. And then again, I lag on the way out. So actually that gap going right up to 1.6 seconds, which is a real pain, because that's nothing, nothing I could do about that. That's not my fault whatsoever. It's literally just, I think, my connection. I'm not really sure. But nonetheless, we will continue with the race. So we've got the other Lamborghini about a second behind us, but we're not going to have to think about him anymore. We're going to be focusing all of our attention on 4th place up ahead. Now, I'm pretty sure it was the tune that I was using on this car, but the brakes were really, really bad. I actually think that the way the person had tuned it was that you could brake all the way and without ABS and your brakes wouldn't lock, and so I hadn't realised that, and I was braking to my normal braking point, which is about where, the limits to where you can brake without locking your brakes up. But I was actually losing out, I think, on some of the braking strength, so I think that was more the kind of an issue of the tune rather than the car itself. And I hadn't noticed when I was driving it without a tune, as it was stock, I hadn't noticed the brakes being a problem, so I'm going to assume that was the tune that was causing that. But as stock, this car is very understeery, and I wasn't particularly keen on it. I didn't really like how it drove. But actually, after I put this tune on, I can't remember who did the tune, but I think it's the most popular one if you search in the setup manager. So I'm sorry I can't be more specific, but I'm pretty sure it was the most common one, the most popular. So if you go and try that, hopefully that should be the tune that I'm using. And actually it's built for kind of downforce, so it tries to negate some of that understeer, and actually it does work quite well. This car, or this tune, was actually quite nice through the corners. So coming back to the race, as you can see here, we're still on the tail of Snoopy in the AMG, not really been able to make anything happen just yet. We'll carry on. I'm right behind him there, but not going to go for a move. You can't really make a move happen through that fast right-hander. And then here you just see I brake slightly too late, and you see the weakness of the brakes there. I just go into the back of him, say sorry, and back off. But unfortunately that does let him just pull away from me slightly. He's already kind of a second ahead now. And we're just going to skip ahead now to a bit later in the race, lap 8. And here is where we've caught up with third place. So guy in a Corvette up ahead, going very slowly, so I don't know what's happened there, whether he's got really worn tyres. He might have gone for a different tyre strategy, and he has. You can see he hasn't pitted. So he is just really struggling on those tyres now, and we're able to get past him like it's nothing really. He goes on the inside. I'm going to get past him in time to take that racing line there, and we're going to forget about him. So now is about the time where I look at the leaderboard and I see that Snoopy ahead actually has a 2.5 second penalty. So I've realised that all I need to do to the end of this race is just stick within 2.5 seconds of him, and we will get on the podium. So I'm pretty sure I'm quicker than him, and as you see I'm about a second behind now, and if I can just stay, you know, around the gap that we have now for the last lap of the race, then that will secure me the podium, and actually a really good result for what it was a pretty chaotic race in a car that I think this was my second race in the Lambo. So I wasn't particularly comfortable driving it just yet, but even so, that does show that this car is, it does have that potential to be quite quick. So I'm going to try and look to get as good of a run as possible coming onto this back straight. Really try and make the most of the top speed in this car and try and close the gap as much as possible to Snoopy. And if you look in the top left, you see that time just slowly ticking down, 1.2 seconds now. So we haven't really gained too much in that kind of first half of the lap, or first quarter of the lap. You see here he goes a little bit wide, just gets onto the sausage, which does slow you down on the exit of that corner. And you see straight away we are reeling him in there just because of that tiny mistake that he made. And then there he just goes too deep, tries to outbrake himself, and I'm right on his tail now. But actually I am thinking that unless he makes a big mistake, I'm not going to push and overtake because there's just no need for it. And you see here I'm just going to slow down, back off, but that seems to put the pressure on him because he pushes it a little bit too hard, just gets in the gravel there. I'm just about managed to squeeze past him. He almost took me out there coming back on track. No fault of his own, just how his car kind of turned with the gravel. But luckily I get past him cleanly, and there is third place. So actually that was a really good race, a really good result for one of my first races in the Lambo. And yeah, I think I will keep driving this car every now and then. It's not going to become like my regular car. It's definitely not my favourite car in the GT class, but it's definitely not bad, and it's interesting to use that top speed to your advantage. So there you go, 15 places gained, up to third place on the podium, and a very good result. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are enjoying all the videos. I'm really grateful for all the support you guys are giving me. The videos are doing really quite well recently. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys again soon.